Okay, we are live, and may I request everybody to please be muted? Okay, Lakshmi, it's all yours. I'm trying to mute Kalpana Purohit there.
Thank you, Rashmi, and welcome everyone to another fantastic talk show with international, with inspiring Indian women, with IIW, and to continue our celebration of International Women's Day. We have another trilogy of wonderful women and successful women, and they're here to inspire us with their stories and tell us about what they do and what they've got to offer the world. They're women who have done it, who continue to do it, and I'm very excited to talk to them and find out more about their lives and their work and what drives them. So first of all, we have Ankusha Sharma. Ankusha is from Jammu and Kashmir, and she has a production company. She's multi-talented, as are all three of our women tonight. So Ankusha has a production company. She has studied fashion, and she has a master's in education and a master's in English. My goodness, the list goes on. Ankusha, I'd like to know a little bit about your background before we launch into your work.
Of course. Hello, Lakshmi. Hello, everyone. Namaste to all. Namaste, Lakshmi ji.
Namaste, namaste.
It's nice to see you all here. I'm very excited. I'm super excited to be here. Because very rare I came on the Zoom meeting, so it's my second time. First time is also experience with you ladies, and today again. So for myself, I want to give my introduction first. Myself is Ankusha Sharma, and I'm from Jammu, particularly Jammu state. Means J&K, Jammu Kashmir, but Jammu and Kashmir is the means different. Is the counties like in here in England. So I'm basically from Jammu. I'm not Kashmiri. My mom is Kashmiri. So I'm Dogra, and here in England, I always try to promote my culture, Dogra culture and Dogra language, because people really know about we people like Dogra people. So in India, the Dogra regiment in army is very, very famous and popular, but I don't know why the people is not knowing about that. And apart from that, because I'm a fashion designer here, professionally, I'm a fashion designer. I'm doing my outfits business like the Asian clothing and jewelry online. So my website is the J Fashion, you can see on the Google, and it's a registered company actually. And I have platform to promote my wedding dresses on the platform of the fashion shows when we participate in the Asian wedding shows. So I always prefer to promote my traditional wedding dress on that platform during the catwalk. So that's my fashion design, because I have diploma in my fashion designing from Jammu, one of Institute Shramik Vidyapith. And I have started my fashion designing in 2016 because during that time I was in depression. I have no idea what should I do now to get rid of this depression. So I chose this profession actually, because I didn't want to go outside because my kids were very young that time. So it was very important for me to get rid of that depression because of my family. So I chose my profession like as a fashion designer here. Basically, I was a teacher in India. I have been teaching 7 years in India in the higher secondary school. So because I have done my master's in English from Jammu University. I have master's in education from Jammu University. So because my mom was teacher, she always encouraged her girls, her daughters. We have I have 2 more sisters. We have 3 sisters and 1 brother. My mother always encourages us to means to make our career. So fashion is my passion. When I was very young, I always, I remember I always draw the dresses, brides, and and the coloring it. My mom always noticed me what I'm doing. So she noticed, and she encouraged me to do anything in the fashion world. So I did my fashion designing diploma in that time, because I was totally, after my higher secondary, I was totally a private student. I a correspondent student, so I had much time to do complete my fashion designing then. So my journey started as a fashion designer only in England, not in India. So after that, in the pandemic time, when the COVID started, we were free at home, but the India was not very affected with the COVID that time. My husband visited in India, and one of my student, he was doing masters in music that time, and he was expected something from me, like as a financial support, because he was not very he's not belonging to very good rich family. So he want to do show his singing in singing. So he convinced my brother, actually, tell ma'am to do something for me to promote my singing, or financially support me. Then we started that business, actually, J production. So we released one song first, Hanju, and then the next, and the next, and the next. Recently we released on the 8th of March is the Nari Jeevan. I already I think told you for that. So Nari Jeevan, we specially released on the Women's Day to encourage our women and to get inspiration from that video, from that song. What's the real women's doing in India? All the women's not all the women are not coming from the very rich family, very educated family. Our background is from different families. So it's depend upon us how we can do something in this new world. Because when I came this country, I remember this was totally new for me. I was just like alien in this country. Everything is different, because we were very simple people in India. We are like a Pahari people. So we don't know about the, even that time I didn't know about the Punjabi outfits properly. Even my culture is similar to the Punjabi culture, but I didn't know about that. I first time saw that 3-meter salwar here, so I don't know about that. But I learned Punjabi here. I learned much more English here. So I was a bit introvert. I'm still introvert. I'm talking much on the phone, but not in front of the people. I'm very surprised for myself how I'm speaking like this in front of you guys.
Fantastic.
It's very means very good for me to speak too much in front of you. I can speak much more on the phone, but I can't speak in front of the people. I'm very shy, actually.
Oh, you're doing very well. I would never guess.
No, I am really, I'm very surprised how I'm talking. So
Great. I
okay,
think it's
because I'm very comfortable with you on that. The first time on the Zoom meeting, I was comfortable. I am feeling very happy now. So this was the journey of my production and my fashions. Apart from this, I am honored by the mayor of your Harrow as the Pride of India during a beauty pageant show. Yes.
How was that? How did it feel to be selected for Pride of India? What an honor.
It was like dreams come true. Actually, I didn't think about that. One of my friends, she recommended me to be participate in the show. I did, and I selected. I was very happy. It's a bit very different experience for me, because I remember when we were very young, that time in India, everyone has the black and white TV. And that time we were very, very fascinated about the Femina Miss India and Mrs. World, Miss World on the TV. Whole night, me and my sisters were wake up and we watched that show, Femina Miss India and the Miss and Mrs. World. So that time, and when we are in the when we were in the teenage, we think about that things, that platform, because in my side, the people are very conservative, very primitive, and their thinking is very limited. Our parents never allow us to go like in those platforms. Even I participated in one of the state level a skit, a drama. My whole family was so angry with me that time. How dare you to participate in the drama and you go for the stage? But thank God, when the dreams I saw in that time is comes true in this age and in England, not in India. So I'm very blessed because my husband always support me in every way, in every way. He never told me, don't do this, don't do that. He always support me. So that's why I'm running production company. I'm doing fashion business. I'm participating in the fashion shows. I'm promoting my culture, my state, my people, my language. I'm doing as much as I can. So I think everyone should do that. So this is all the because of, I don't know, it's the only blessing. One thing I must say, like, I always be honest. I always care from the diplomatic people. I always stay away from the people who show off and who do the show off. And I always care from the crowd, very much crowd. That's why from the childhood until not this age, I never had any best friend. I have many friends from the child to old people. I had many friends. I have many friends, but not the best friend. Because I don't know why, but you all are my friends. You say, sometimes the people ask, who is your best friend? I never say, everyone is my best friend.
That's
not
nice.
a special one. Yeah.
I think that kind of attitude shows that you are very open and loving and all embracing and and kind-hearted. Actually, that's the feeling that I get.
I don't know. But I love honest people. Because I'm very simple. I'm down to earth. I always believe on God because I believe on the karmas. As we do, there's a proverb, as you sow, so shall you reap. So if we respect others, we always expect respect from them. If we do the 100% for them, so we expected 2 or 10% from them. So yeah, that's why I would stay away from the diplomatic people, show off people, and the people who demoralize other people. I don't like those. I'm honest, so I expect the honest people in my life.
Like attracts like, yes. You're a very busy person with several companies plus family. How do you juggle? How do you find time and dedicate to each areas of your life?
Look, without family support, you can't do anything. Right? So if you're living separate, if you're living alone, you can do everything, but with the family, to manage everything is very, very hard, especially when your children are very young. So because of my husband's sport, I'm very lazy actually. Actually, I don't want to say on this platform, but I am not doing anything. I don't know how it happens. Only because of God.
It's really nice that you have his support. Yeah, it's not always the case, right? When you're in a marriage, that you have that. So that's really nice to hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
The name of your fashion business is J
Fashion.
And then the production company is J A. Right. Okay. Yeah.
You want the reason?
Yes.
J stands for my husband's name, Jesse, and A stands for me and my children. That's why JA.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And do you have a website and for both businesses? Can you yeah, you can share that with everyone at some point. That would be, I'd like to
Actually,
see.
my fashion website is in process. Because I'm very lazy, I didn't put anything in that website,
Definitely
but I'm trying to do. But if you want to find, if you want to open that website on the Googles, you can just type the www.jafashion.co.uk, as same the J production. www.japroduction.co.uk. Both my companies are registered here with the UK government.
Okay, yeah, so they're UK companies, yeah. And do you ship your fashion, for example, do you ship that all over the world? Where do you get your orders from?
I am from India, so obviously my all stuff is from India, as well as because we can get the Pakistan stuff as well from the India. So it's not a big deal to get the stuff from India, from the different states. And I'm not doing the business with the retailer. I'm registered with the brands. In India, there's some many brands in the suits, lehengas. So I'm bonded with those people, with the manufacturers and with the wholesalers.
Okay, and is it traditional wear as well as
Yes.
modern? And okay, nice.
Yes.
So you've got a mix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the India's are diversities of culture and the traditions. Every state has a different dress. Every state has a different language. So when the weddings organized, and especially there's the fairas in our Hindu rituals as a Lame Fair, right? In that particular time, we wear the traditional dress. In our Jammu state, we wear the like pachami, chunat wali pachami, and gota shirt with gota dupatta. That's the particular dress for the Lame Fair.
Sorry.
It's a wedding dress.
Nice. Yeah, I love traditional Indian wear. You mentioned the Dogra culture. Do they have their own also?
Sorry?
Do they have their own traditional dress also?
Yes. That's why I already mentioned on your voice is a bit breaking.
Oh, sorry about that. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. What
I'd
did
like to see some traditional Dogra dress. Do you have anything you can show?
this time?
Sorry to put you on the spot. Yeah. Can you describe how it's different to other?
Yes, because in the Punjabi traditional dress, there is the kameez and the shalwar, right? That is not very different from the Punjabi traditional dress. Our is the long shirt with the gota, and in the wedding dress, and the chunnat, pachami with the chunnat, like we call that suthan. So, and our sleeves are like cuff, but today's the girls don't like a cuff on the front, means in front of your yeah, like it's a different one. I can't say, I have no proper word for that. So yeah, it's different. I will show you when later, because I don't have this right now.
Yeah,
You can see you can see on my Facebook page. I promote on that the Asian wedding shows. 3-4 times I show that on the catwalk time. My model pictures on the Facebook and the Instagram. You can see that.
Can you tell me what your Facebook page is? What's it called?
My face the JA Fashion. It's a Facebook page is JA Fashion.
Okay.
And my production page is JA Production.
Okay.
And Instagram is JA underscore fashion underscore official, and JA underscore official production underscore official.
Nice. And these with the production work, you mentioned a couple of songs. Which language are they sung in?
When we started this, we tried for our own language, but unfortunately we didn't get any good composition that time. Then we started with the Punjabi song Hanju. That time the Hanju was means everyone like Hanju song. Our singer voice is very, very good. And after that we made the Himeshwar Shamia song Teri Umeed. We made the video. It's the Himeshwar Shamia's composition. After that we did the Nari Jeevan. Now I am doing the 6 projects now. So in the Hindi language. Dogri,
Could you
Punjabi.
Could you
Yes.
share the links to the audience? We have Facebook listeners and also live audience. It would be great to, and also this is recorded,
Yeah,
as you know. So
you can see on the YouTube channel. It's a JA production channel. So
Okay.
I can I write here?
yes, there's a chat window, and you can type. Please do, yeah.
JA production.
Lakshmi, I've made you co-host. If you want, you can just share the link, maybe.
I think Anku's typing the link. Are you typing the link, Anku?
I'm not typing link. Okay, I will share the link in the box.
Yeah, that would be better. Yeah, if you just
It's better for me, but I have to be. Can I do my camera off first? Is it okay? No? Then wait. No, I got it.
Yeah, it says chat. There's a little window at the bottom icon and it says chat. You can just type it in there.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to, it would be great to listen to some of your music actually. Yeah. How did you select the musicians? How did they come your way?
It's a long procedure actually. Because we have to see the lyrics first and then composition. And I didn't miss a copy video link. Yes, I did it now. Where you are? You lost. Where you are?
Let me also try and go to the YouTube
No,
channel.
I got the link, but I'm trying to get back, but it's hard for me. Zoom.
You can share it with us.
Yeah, I'm stuck here.
When you find it. That's okay.
I did the copy paste.
Or we can continue, and later on, if you find, you can get back.
I got it. I'm trying to come back on the page. It's a Zoom page, but I didn't get it. I don't know how to, because I'm not very expert on my Mac Pro, so it's very hard for me to get the.
As in when you get it, please just pop it into the chat window. Yeah. So that's really nice to hear your story, Anku. Yeah, thanks so much. And yeah, if there's anything else you want to share with us, please do so.
I want to see your face first because I lost you guys. Where you go?
No, just click on the Zoom icon. You can see it. Click on the Zoom icon on your desktop or laptop. Can you see Zoom on the
Zoom? Yes.
Ask your son, he'll help you.
Dad, come here. I'm stuck.
There. He can do it. He can do it. He will be able to do it.
I don't know where's the Zoom. Zoom gone.
Okay, so you can figure it out because it should be on your desktop, the icons. Yeah. I think your husband is there. He can help you. You can come.
Dad.
Okay.
Oh,
so...
I got it. Oh, thank you. I'm back.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Ankusha Sharma. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And as in when you find your YouTube links, please put it into the chat window.
I sent. Did you get it?
Oh yeah, there it is. Great, thanks. Yeah, everyone can take a listen by clicking on there to Ankusha Sharma's production of. The name of this song is. Which one is this that you posted?
This is YouTube link. When you open this link, you will get my YouTube channel.
Okay,
Look,
so it's all your.
I'm talking to you and my cheeks are so hot.
Thank you, Anku. Okay, great. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Inspiring work. Wonderful. So now we move on to our next guest speaker.
Thank you.
Preeti.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
so
Anku.
much. Thank you so much.
Okay. Preeti, welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to IIW. You're a mom to an 8-year-old. Is it boy or girl?
He's a boy.
You have an 8-year-old boy. Wonderful. You came to London in 2019 and you were diagnosed with an incurable form of cancer.
Yes.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah. And even though at the time the diagnosis crushed you, you gathered courage and here you are today, looking amazing and yeah, full of life. Once your treatment finished, you created a startup and it's called Living Ichigo Ichie. Have I pronounced that right?
Well done, you did. Not many people can do that. So well done, you.
Lovely, what lovely words. Ichigo Ichie. Wow, I just want to keep saying that. Now, this is Japanese, right? And I want you to explain what they mean because they're so wow, they're so powerful.
So ichigo ichie is a Japanese phrase which means to tell us that each and every moment that we live is unique and unrepeatable. So we only get one chance to live a moment, and if we lose it, it's gone forever. For example, right now, all of us on this platform listening to each other, it's once in a lifetime opportunity. And if we are not here, right now, and if we are elsewhere, which I mean by mind wandering, if you are not present, then the whole purpose is lost. So that was an example of what it means. Yeah.
That's so profound, isn't it? It's really it captures that idea of mindfulness in through being present, which of course now has a lot of publicity, and it's really becoming known, that concept of mindfulness. Would you say that there's a similarity? Would you say it's a similar concept to Ichigo Ichie?
Yes, I think you cannot live a moment. So ichigo ichie is just something, it's a hook that if you remember it, you know that you would want to make most of your time at hand. It's a hook, but how do you do it? Of course, you do it with mindfulness. And there are various ways you do it. So there is definitely an overlap.
What are some of those ways? Can you give?
So, for example, the talks that I give across London, I talk about 3 steps, which is aware, engage, and mindful. So first of all, wherever you are, just taking a moment to be aware why you are there, what you are doing, with whom you are, just to be aware of the surroundings. And then the second is to engage, and the way to engage is to get all your 5 senses into it. What is somebody talking? How is he sitting? How is is there any kind of specific fragrance that is surrounding you right now? So you bring all the 5 senses into action. That's how you engage in a moment. If somebody's asked you a question, you actually understand and then respond. So and the third is mindfulness, which is you shouldn't be just aware of what is happening around you, but also inside you. How are you feeling in that moment? Are you feeling happy? If you're feeling happy, and if you're aware that you're happy in that moment, instant gratification comes. And if you're neutral, that's also good. But if you are not happy, if that's an unpleasant moment, we have to keep reminding ourselves that this moment is, again, unique, unrepeatable. It's impermanent. It will pass. So don't focus too much on it. It will pass. This too shall pass. We always say that, right? But it does have a meaning. But what happens is most of the times when we are in that rock bottom situation, it's hard for us to get out of it, get ourselves out of it. And we keep spinning stories about what could have, what should have, rather than focusing on what we can do right now. So the talks that I deliver is all focused on how to make those moments powerful and how to kind of, given whatever constraints we have in lives, to still go ahead and make most of our time. For example, when I was listening to Anju, her story is so powerful when she said that she had no knowledge at all, but she took that action. She believed in herself. She took that action and she just went ahead with it. And then she made something beautiful out of it. So it's really inspiring.
Yeah, and well, it to me it showed how your will can really take over, you know, and you know, she didn't have so much family support in what she wanted to do back then, yet she persisted, and even though it didn't materialize in India, it did here, and it continues to. Yeah.
Absolutely, but that could only have happened if Anju took that first step. What if she wouldn't have? And the story was absolutely different. So she is the hero of her own story, and she made sure that she made something out of it very beautiful. So it's damn inspiring. Oh, Lakshmi, I think I lost you.
Continue, Preeti. We are listening to you. And yes, amazing how you managed to get out of all that, what you went through, and started your way of being this sunshine and spread light in people's life. What else? Continue your story, please.
I would like to give a little bit of family background as well here. So I was born in a Punjabi family, and three siblings. Mom was a very devoted mom who kind of raised us, supported us in whatever way she could. Dad was hardworking, working very hard to provide us for the family. So I come from a very modest middle class background. And growing up, I had three aspirations in life. First was to get a good job that could pay you know, in a good way. The second was to travel, and the third one was to give back to the society in some way. This was always going in my mind, that this is something that I wanted to do always. And then I did work for an IT company for 7 years, and you know, like a dream job. But then I had to quit it because I had to go to Japan. And the reason why I'm telling the story, because ichigo ichie just didn't walk into my life. There was a story behind it. And when I was in Japan, I was learning so much, and I was exposed to a very new culture, so much to learn, so much to be, you know, be mindful of, and how those people live their lives. It really changed me as a person. It grounded me. And I was never this person before. So it was a transformational journey for me, 6 years in Japan. And then I came to London. And then again, my husband's job, I had to quit my job and then come here. And then in October, we were in Legoland, and I was sitting on a roller coaster with my son, who was 6 years that time. And suddenly, when the roller coaster started, I had this excruciating pain in my neck and shoulder, and I knew something's wrong. But then I just kind of hold on to the railing, and I was like, let me just like get over with this roller coaster thing, and then we'll see what to do. After that, I was rushed to the hospital in Germany, and the doctors looked at me and they said, well, looks like you've kind of got a jerk, I think. So it's going to take like 15 days to heal. And here are the painkillers, and you'll be fine. And I was sent back. But then the pain didn't go away. It just kept growing more and more, and I had no idea what was going on. Then after 4 days, we flew back to London, and the first thing we did was go into Wellington Hospital and get this sorted, because it was quite bad. And the doctor looked at me and he said, let's do an MRI for you because the pain is quite a lot. when they did the MRI, they were shocked to see that the C7 bone in my neck was fractured, badly fractured, and the bone fragments were around the spinal cord. It could have been, I could have been paralyzed, or it was actually fatal. Me flying from Germany to London was not something that we would have done if we would have known the extent, the severity of the injury. But because we didn't know, we were here, and the doctor looked at it and said, okay, we need to fix this, and you cannot go back home. You need to be in the hospital. And he also said that you are very lucky, Preeti, you're very blessed that you made it from Germany to London, because with this kind of a injury, anything could have happened. And he said, I've never in my entire life seen anybody with such a severe injury to walk in the hospital like by themselves. So he said, it's a miracle, and you're very blessed, and you should be happy about it that you made it here. And then they fixed it. They put some screws and a plate in my neck to kind of bring me back to life. And then but then my doctor was just such an amazing person. He said that you're so young, Preeti, it's just not possible to get your bone fractured on a roller coaster. There has to be something else. We need to investigate more. So I went to a lot of hospitals, met a lot of doctors in London, and after 5 months of investigating, finally they found out that I have multiple myeloma, which is an incurable cancer. And because of that blood cancer, the bone in my neck was kind of already, there was no strength in the bone. It was already damaged to an extent that with one jerk, it just snapped. But then looking at the silver lining, I was young and it got diagnosed. So I feel every day is like a blessing for me, honestly. Which is why Ichigo Ichie resonates, because every moment I live is a blessing for me. It's something that I look forward to. Every day I wake up, I look forward to that day. And I want to make most of it. I want to make something beautiful out of it. Which is the reason why I do what I do. And then and also while I was going through, so again, because the cancer was diagnosed, I went through 6 months of chemotherapy and then followed by a stem cell transplant. So I lost my hair, like I had no hair at all. I lost my complexion. I was fragile. I was very weak, very different person. But again, coming back to what I learned in Japan, I could apply those philosophies while I was going through that. And it helped me in a way. Like Kintsugi is a philosophy in Japan that talks about embracing your imperfections. So I was looking imperfect, of course, but I saw that I knew that I have to embrace it. It's me, it's not some other person. And also it's impermanent. Today I'm like this, tomorrow I'll be normal again. So I had to look on the other side of the tunnel. I had to move forward. And so I did. And then, after that, I started again. So I also kind of told myself that, yes, I do have constraints. I cannot do certain things that my friends at this age are doing. Maybe I cannot go back and work the way I used to, but then there has to be something that I can do. Hell yeah, I'm capable. So I'm like, I have to do something. So I started painting. I started writing blogs, which is why I also contacted Rashmi ji, because I wanted to write a blog for IIW. I found IIW online. I didn't know that this platform existed, to be honest. I wanted to write a blog or maybe find an opportunity to deliver a talk for people. So that's how I found IIW online, and I got in touch with Rashmi ji, and she pulled me for this forum where I feel so humbled to be part of such beautiful and inspiring women, to be honest. So I started painting, and I kind of channelizing my negative energies and the thing that I was going through painting and through singing, and I started creating content with the central idea that the central idea is ichigo ichie. So I started creating content on Instagram. I have a very loving small community on Instagram. The Instagram handle is living.ichigo.ichie. So I create content and I post it as daily reminders where I remind people that, hey, right here, right now is the moment. This is the life. In the moment, rest everything is haze. Because nobody can change the past and nobody's seen the future. So the empowering thing is that you can do something with the present. So why not focus there? Put your minds there. So yeah, I started doing all these things, trying to fill in the gaps I thought I had in my life, which I was not able to do other things, which I had planned actually. But the things that I started to do, it just gave me so much of happiness, so much of contentment. It was like I found a purpose in my life. And I feel that cancer was basically a knock on the door. That, what are you doing, Preeti? You're supposed to do this. What are you doing? You're doing that. So, just wake up. Because as I said, one of the aspirations was always to give back to the society, which I didn't know how. So I found a channel. I channelized this to do that. And then, so when I kind of gathered more energy, I started delivering talks in schools, in parents' community. Then also I gave a talk to nurses to kind of just show them a new perspective to life, because it was my way of giving back to all the nurses who helped me during my cancer treatment. I also painted a very beautiful portrait of my consultant and gifted it to her because I was doing painting as well. So just small, meaningful actions I took, and it gave me a different level of satisfaction. Sometimes we look, so everybody's looking for happiness. That's how I feel. Everybody wants to be happy. But what we think is that when we achieve this, that's when we're going to be happy. When we achieve that, that's when we're going to be happy. But what about those small things during the process? We don't celebrate that because we don't look life that, oh, this is also worth celebrating. For me, what I try to tell people is that each and everything is worth celebrating. Even a hug from my son in the morning. Wow, I am blessed. I'm grateful even for that small things. So just being humble and being thankful for those, grateful for those small things that happen in our lives is very, very important to have that final contentment that I think we all are looking for. But it's just that we have a different idea about it. You know what I mean? I hope it's making sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose different life experiences that lead us each to where we are at. And it's about shifting perspective, isn't it? Because we might be wired in a certain way and we default into a certain way of thinking and behaving and doing things. And often it involves thinking about the future or thinking about the past and regretting or hoping and wishing for something in the future, that we forget about the present. And where we are at now is just as valuable, if not more, because that is what we can, like you say, that is what we can influence and control.
Yes.
Where we are at now.
Don't you think it's so empowering, Lakshmi? Like, you can control it. You can actually choose what you want to do. Like, next 10 minutes of your life, we don't know how it's going to be. But right now, you and me connecting here with all these beautiful women, just being here, isn't it powerful? That's how I feel, that this is the moment.
And it's such a beautiful spiritual lesson, also that it feels good. It feels good in our physical form, in our mind, but it's also about what spirituality is about. Be here now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So for example, I'll give you a very simple example. Having a cup of tea in the morning. Okay, for a lot of people, it's something that they do while they're rushing into things. Of course, a lot of us are not time rich. A lot of us are time poor, right? We don't have time. But over the weekend, just sitting with a cup of tea, in that moment, realizing that we should be grateful that we have a house and we can sit and enjoy something like this. There are people who probably don't even have this kind of a luxury. Small things. Those are the things that matter actually. It fills you with gratefulness. And when you're more grateful, you're more content. When you're more content, you are happy, you are radiant, and you can actually surround yourself with good energy, and you can pass on that to other people as well, you know. But we don't pause to think like that because we are in a rush and our minds are conditioned in that way. So sometimes it's just good to slow down.
And just be, that's really, it's so beautiful to hear that. And you're so eloquent, you know, in the way that you express this profound message. Actually, I would love to hear your talks, and I hope that IIW is able to host one in the near future, because it's the sort of message that one also needs to hear frequently, because we forget. You know?
Absolutely, you are spot on. So the talk that I give is not rocket science. Everyone knows it, but these nudges are needed in our life over and over again because we can't help it. We have so many jobs to do, so many roles to play. We have to juggle. We can't really, being in the moment is not easy because we, as I said, we are not time rich. But it's important to know that when you are in that moment where you can actually be grateful about something, you should be aware of it, you know. And it is only possible if there are reminders, there are nudges, you know. Then is when it kind of, you internalize it. You know it on the surface, but you've not internalized it. For me, because I had so much time while I was going through cancer treatment, I think I kind of internalized it. So it comes out, it's a practice, it comes out naturally now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like that, yeah. It feels very much like that life-changing experience of having such a serious condition, that it changed you, like you say, internally, but in a way that there was no going back, right, to how you probably, you know, you may have been before, or how you lived your life before. It reformed you and reshaped you, and you carry that presence with you.
yes, and which is why, you know, I want to give this message that each one of us should not wait for something like this to happen and then realize, because time is fleeting and life is precious. It's a fact. In my case, something happened, something dramatic happened, which made me pause. I was full on accelerating and, you know, like full on speed, but then life said, different gears, please. But people should not wait for those kind of dramatic experiences or traumas to kind of realize it, which is I think what my job is, to make everybody keep putting it out, making them realize, so that some point of time they can internalize as well. And also there's this thing that I always say whenever I present a talk, is that everybody has two lives, okay, and their second life starts when they realize that they have only one life to live. And when I realized that I have only one life to live, I made changes, I took actions. I do not want my second life to be to define me, what happened to me. Rather, I want my second life to be what I want to be. And as I said in Anju's example, she was the hero, and everybody is the hero in their own story. So you need to write your own story. Just don't get bogged down if something bad happens, because shit happens with everyone.
It does, yeah.
You know, and the second thing is that pain is inevitable. Like, for example, in my case, I couldn't have not got this. Probably it meant to happen, you know. So I had to accept it, instead of denying, which I did at a very early stage. I had to accept my condition and move forward. In order to make most of my time, in order to stop the mind wandering, I had to accept my condition. So I did that, and that is something that's very important in this journey. You have to accept your present condition. You can't be in denial. But sorry, I lost my thought. I was thinking something and now I've lost it. Chemo brain.
um what would in your talks, in the talks that you give, do you give very practical advice and steps that people can take? How can they access them also?
So the thing is, Lakshmi, that I cannot. So, for example, okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, let's do it like that. What is that one moment that you would like to live, given your present constraints in life? Choose any moment.
Wow. Well, that isn't, is that like a trick question? Because then I'm hoping for something.
No, I said, yeah, so whatever you're hoping, of course, given your present constraints, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's health, no matter what it is, but do you have this moment in your mind that you would like to live?
Yes, I do.
Is it okay if you can share with all of us?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not so tangible, but and clear, but somehow it's, for me, it's to have inner peace, literally just that, to have inner peace. And because we are in the physical form, in the physical world, it's to be in nature, because that's where I'm happiest.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that probably captures it.
So just a moment of inner peace, right? What if I tell you that you can have that moment in your house after this talk is done? All you have to do is just stop everything. Life moves on, Lakshmi, okay? You have to understand that. And all the moments, so even if it's a worry about something in the future or something that is bothering your past, okay? If you can do something about it, take action. If you cannot do something about it, you have to let it go. And when I say let it go, it's not a magic wand that I'm going to give someone. Let it go is basically accepting what happened and then moving forward from there. So if you can accept whatever happened in the past that you are not comfortable with, or if you're worrying too much about the future, all you have to tell yourself is what if this doesn't happen? You know, what if that happened? Can I change it? No. If I cannot change it, should I be wasting my time thinking about it? Logically, the answer is no, right? And in future, if something you're planning or whatever, you can do the planning, but can you really control it? No. You can do best what you can, right? So with this constant dialogue, with this constant practice, you kind of find those moments when your mind is like empty. Because if there is an action that needs to be taken, you will do it. So rather than focusing on the worry, you're focusing on action. You're putting your energy of your mind on something that you actually can do, right? So park it, write it down. Okay, write it down what's worrying you, then see if you can solve it with an action. If not, it's better to leave, because it's not worth a single moment of your time. Believe me, every moment we live is unique and unrepeatable. Again, coming back to ichigo ichie, right? So write it down, see if you can act on it. If you can, then act on it. If you can't, leave it. And just with that empty mind, just sit with yourself. Maybe, so cup of tea is a good example, because scientifically it's proven that when you're having something warm, automatically your mind is kind of navigating it, right? So while you're having a cup of tea, just smell the tea, look at its texture, just get engaged, involve yourself in it. And in that moment, you won't think of anything else. A moment is what? A moment is basically a period of time, a short period of time. Even if it's 2 seconds, 3 seconds, it's still a moment lived, right? So after the talk, or whenever you are free, whenever you can, just sit with a cup of tea and just be there. Do not think anything. Just put your focus on the tea, and you will have a moment of peace. The more you will do, the more practice you will do, the more better you'll become. And this is something that happens in any case, anything that you start doing new, right? For me, it wasn't easy in the beginning, but now I am able to do it. For example, I can give you an example. MRI is not an easy scan to do because you have to literally be in the machine, and it can be very traumatic. Like for me, it was claustrophobic. So I used to spend 5, 6 days just kind of thinking about what's going to happen with me while I will be in an MRI. But because of being in the moment, I told myself, I have to be in an MRI. I can't do anything about it. So why am I wasting my 6 days? Let me do something else, which is interesting. And then maybe I will see what will happen to me while I'm in the machine or while I'm just outside it. So it's that constant talk with your mind and just keep telling to come in the moment. Does that make sense?
Well, it really makes sense. I want to see your face, and I can't. Someone's got
Yeah,
a
Lakshmi, so much to offer in such a young age, you know. By the way, I was just asking Ankusha to share her video on women, and I think she's trying it out now. So Ankusha, you will have to do it towards the end so that we can finish the talk now. So Ankusha, if you could just stop sharing the video, or if you're sharing the video, let's play it, and then we come back to Preeti.
Okay. Is that okay, Preeti?
Of course, of course.
Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
So Ankusha is just trying her best to, you know.
Fine.
Yeah, Ankusha, otherwise do it later.
Okay.
Just leave it because we are interrupting a talk and we were completely in the midst of it. And it's completely enthralled, blown away with what this young lady has to offer. So much. You've gone through so much at such a young age. You know, and Lakshmi, did you notice that, you know, that the way, you know, she tells us to let it go, isn't it amazing? You know, I'm 50 and it's so difficult to let it go. I'm so much impressed with what you have to offer to us, Preeti. I'm so glad you got in touch. Please continue your journey.
So I really believe, Rashmiji, that whatever happens for a reason. You know, me going to Japan, learning, bringing it back to London, applying it, and then getting connected to you. The universe is kind of, you know,
Yeah.
shows you signs. So me being here talking to you guys, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. But think about it. If I wouldn't have taken that stance of, okay, let me just Google out and see if I could do something, you know, like write a blog for somebody, I would have never reached out to you guys, would have never even known about IIW. So it's all about just taking those small actions, coming out of your comfort zone, and and again, action, when I say about action, I tell this to people, action doesn't need to be big. Small action matters because it's a domino effect, you know. So again, and the same is with the happiness. Don't sit and think about something huge or massive that's going to happen, and okay, and then I'm going to be like, you know, when people go to Vipassana, like it's a meditation course. I've not been, but I really really want to go. I think that's my next step. When they go, they have this notion that we are going to get, you know, inner peace, or you know, it's going to be life. It is very very life changing, that's what I've heard. But that peace they are looking outside is actually inside them. And it's again connected to how your mind is thinking, how your mind is functioning, what kind of food you're giving to your mind, what kind of questions you're throwing at your mind. It all bogs down, you know, comes down to that. You know, so as you said, Lakshmi, you asked a very very good question. How do I find inner peace? Because everyone's looking for it. It's not anywhere outside, it is within you, really. And it all drops down to how you're thinking, how you're channelizing your energy, how, what kind of question you're putting out to your mind, and then your mind is working just like that.
It seems to me that you really internalized this. You know, there's the theory, right, and then there's the actual practice of it, and it's actually remarkably simple the way you know you speak about it, but it it can
Yes.
be extremely difficult to put it into practice. simple but difficult. I mean, difficult because we're not used to it, and it's about creating a habit and a routine of it.
Yes.
So
So to create a habit and a routine, I will give you one tool. There are a couple of more tools, but I'll give you one tool. Anything that you do every single day, any activity, just attach mindfulness into it. That's it. Even if it's taking a shower, make yourself like, do not let your mind wander elsewhere. If you're taking a shower, you're 100% taking a shower. You're feeling the water, the temperature, everything about it. That's how you practice it. If I'm walking down the stairs, and that is something that I do every single day, that is one activity. You don't have to do like small steps, as I said, baby steps. Just attach mindfulness to one activity every day, and you will see that slowly, slowly it's going to internalize. When your mind will wander, you will be aware of it. And it is absolutely okay for your mind to wander because it's his natural character. That's his character. You can't do anything about it. But then you are powerful as well. You have to bring it back. And that's a constant practice. So just attach that thing with something that you do every single day. Just bring that aware, engage, and mindful. When I say mindful, also how you are feeling in that moment. That is very, very important because that's when you internalize, that's when you get, you have a feeling of gratefulness, you have a feeling of contentment. So it's very important to internalize that. So aware, engage, and mindful in one activity. That's all I'm asking you to do. And if you are able to do it even once, Lakshmi, get back to me. I'll talk more about it.
Yeah, aware, engage, and mindful.
Yes.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful message. It's so powerful and so beautiful and so simple. And I pray for the day when everyone in the world incorporates this practice into their lives, because we wouldn't be living in the world, in the chaos, right, that we see now, if each of those leaders of each country, if all the people in the world practice this,
absolutely,
it would be changing. It would be life changing for themselves, and it would be world changing and have an effect on the universe.
Yes, absolutely. So I was that kind of a person. If I would read something about Libya or something, it would just bring me down like too much. I used to cry for a couple of hours. But now, because I know that that situation is not in my control, I just can't go and stop it. But what I can do is help somebody while I'm sitting here. So that kind of question I ask, okay, what can I do in this situation? Can I do some kind of donation? Can I reach out to somebody? So instead of putting my mind to those negative emotions, I'm rather channelizing into to make something positive out of it. Right? Again, going back to the basics, can I do something what has happened? Whatever has happened, can I do something about it? Yes, I should take an action. No, let it go then. I can't do anything, let it go. That's the message.
So it's really it really brings me back to my center speaking to you, and I really appreciate it, and I'm going to practice that when we finish tonight. And you're so you're so articulate in the way you give the way you're spreading this message, and the world needs such powerful speakers, because it's you're gifted in the way that you're able to carry this message out to the world, and it's rare to find. And
I don't know. I have to do a lot of practice.
Great, you're great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have anything else to add other than I'm feeling already some inner peace?
See, there's one thing I will add at the end, that I think I'm not sure if I said it. Pain is inevitable, right? It will come and go. We can't do anything about it. But suffering that we put ourselves through by thinking too much, by overanalyzing things, and by overthinking, that is something that is optional, and that is something that is in our hand. I think that is what stayed with me when I was reading. I read a book on ichigo, ichie, And then this was a line in the book that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And it stuck with me. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. It is. I have to go in the MRI. I can't help it. But the suffering that I'm putting myself for like 6 days, why? I don't have to do that. So yeah.
Wonderful, Preeti. Thank you so much for that powerful message that we can end with.
Yes.
Speaking to you, Preeti. And yeah, I've put some information. Well, I've put very little. Just can you type into the chat box how, if people want to contact you, or if people want to listen to your talks until we have one on IIW in future, how they can get more information, just or read your words even, or listen to you speak. Yeah. Thanks so much, Preeti. Wonderful. Okay, and now we're going to move on to our last guest for tonight. We have a very talented young interior designer, interior architect called Madhurika Trivedi. Madhurika, welcome to IIW. Welcome to the show. Lovely to see you.
Thank you, Lakshmi ji. Namaste, Lakshmi ji, and Rashmi ji. Namaste to everyone who's tuning in today as well. It's so lovely to be here. And it's been so wonderful to hear such inspiring stories from both Anku ji and Preeti ji. It's just great to be here with such amazing women today. So thank you for having me.
Great. And I'm in good company. I'm in good company anyway, but we're both British born, so that's something we have in common.
Absolutely, yes.
So Madhurika, I really want to hear about your work and what you do, because it's something I'm personally quite interested in. You're a qualified interior designer with over 10 years experience in the industry. I mean, it doesn't look like you could have been in the work field for 10 years looking at you, but there you go. And you are the founder of Vastu Design. What a beautiful name. I love that concept of Vastu, which I want to hear more about from you as well. Vastu Design is an interior design company specializing in high-end residential interiors and kitchens. You have worked for celebrities and you've designed high-end interiors. You basically have these concepts that you work with, right? Maximizing light, comfort, bringing in luxury and warmth to the homes. Your focus is on well-being and living better. I mean, this is also where we are in our physical space can really affect our minds, right? And how we feel. And yeah, especially in the last couple of years, when people are working more and more at home, it's become more important to create, comfortable and beautiful surroundings.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been more important than ever in the last couple of years, where we've been working from home and we're spending more time at home thinking about the way that we live and the spaces that we're living in. So I grew up around property, actually, and I realized early on how important our homes are to us and how they impact us physically, socially, and psychologically. So, I mean, it did help that I was pushed into the deep end quite early, as my brothers both run an architect's company. And so I would be listening to them discussing ideas, and they were great, as both me and my sister Lakshmi were encouraged to get involved and design from an early age as well. So yeah, in terms of the well-being and stuff, my lifestyle is very much driven with yoga, meditation, Ayurveda, and Vastu practices. So it's these karmic sciences that have been the basis for my design business, which is why the name is Vastu Design, because it is the core of the business, but also the way in which we design. So it is really, talking about how people are living in that space, being aware of how we can start to bring that into homes as well. So, I mean, you might be wondering kind of how I can help bring that in and how I can help that create kind of your dream home. So apart from actually making it look amazing, what we do is address the core needs of how to do this. So with your home being designed well, what it does, especially when you design it according to Vastu Shastra as well, is that it creates a more positive energy, which in turn creates happiness and increases productivity within the home for the entire family. So this can be achieved through the Vastu consideration, but also through colours and the materials, and also the lighting within the home, both natural and artificial. Because we're actually impacted by these elements more subconsciously than consciously. So it kind of goes back to what you were saying, Preeti, about being aware of this. So, you know, we aren't necessarily aware of our homes, but what we can do is start to consider this when we're designing for the home, and then you will become aware of it. So for example, I'll give you an example. You may walk into a room and say it feels great or looks amazing, but not necessarily know how or why. And it's because of all these elements, the structure, the layout, the colors, materials, and the lighting have all been considered to create this feeling, which is why it's really important to have this designed well to suit your lifestyle, your family, and bring your own personality into the home as well. So I'll share another example of how this has worked. So we had a project where someone really wanted to have light in their home, but it was quite dark due to the north facing windows. But through clever designed lighting and color on the walls, certain type of color, which weren't white, we were able to create a really warm and cozy feeling that made most of the light available and also allowed the family to be really comfortable. So we're taking what was potentially an issue in that space and completely turned it around to be able to be exactly what the family were looking for. And in turn, that created positive vibes within the home. So a lot of people think about interior design and they think about certain objects or, you know, cushions, curtains, and that. But what it's actually about is about creating a harmonious space with the way that you live. And that's understanding how you live. It's also understanding your personality and how you can bring that into a space. And then objects are just a small part of it. But where this crosses over between interiors and architecture, it's really important to understand, because it's important to get an interior designer in at the planning stages of the whole project, so that we can work in collaboration with the architects to bring the whole scheme together. So it's not just an afterthought. A lot of people sometimes think that we'll do the building work, do the architecture, and then we'll speak with the interior designer. But actually, when we have the interior designer on board at the same time as the architects, what that allows is that you have that collaboration. And so you're able to understand the structural elements and make changes along the way. And that will really bring a lot of good consideration throughout the project. So I'll share an example of how this worked really well. So I worked on a project where the client's home had a column right bang in the middle of the room, and it was their main open space living, dining, whole area. But the column was right in the middle of the room, which they were really unhappy about, because it not only blocked the views going out into the garden area, but also it was not allowing that flow of space between it. And because it was a whole open plan design, it just caused that a big block between it. So at this point, we were able to work with the architects to implement those structural changes that made a huge difference to the layout. And if we weren't on board at that point, it wouldn't have been possible, although we would have been able to still design the space. Understanding how those structural elements could have made a difference wouldn't have been possible after it had already been built. So in turn, they had more space, no more blocked views, and had a more positive flow throughout the whole of the room. Yeah. So it just allows you a lot more scope within the project, because you were then allowed to, at that point then, we were able to, you know, bring in a lot more light, highlight those better views. And you can also, another way in which this is really important is storage space. You know, we can never have enough storage. And so when we're in collaboration, we can maximize on that. And also the positioning of the windows, where that can bring in more, allow better views out as well at the same time. So we also run a family business in architecture and design, Trivedi and Trivedi, where we cover aspects of architecture, from extensions to loft conversions and new builds as well. So if you are interested, I can definitely share more information about that. But
could you just tell me what the website is? I'm just
yes, it's
yeah.
www.trivediandtrivedi.com.
Is that, yeah, so it's and the word, yeah.
That's right, yeah, and the word and. And the Vastu Design website is www.vastudesign.com.
Vastu spelled V-A-S-T.
T-U, that's it, yeah.
V-A-S-T.com. Vastu.com.
Vastudesign.com. Yes.
I was going to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, so
really captured a lot in what you've said, and you know, things that the average person doesn't really stop to think about, right? Often homes become very functional spaces, and like you say, we might buy an object and stick it in the corner, or, you know, in view or whatever, but there's so many more factors at play. And I think that when you know, when right at the start, when you said, when you walk into a room and you feel, you know, this is a beautiful room, and you feel the vibe, the energy, the comfort, the beauty of it. There's so much going on in the room that we may not necessarily be consciously aware of, but there's been planning.
absolutely, yeah, exactly. And it is just understanding what these elements are and how they work together seamlessly. So you almost want to walk into a room and, you know, you want to feel that it works, and then you start to, and then if the design is done well, you won't necessarily see something straight away because everything will be seamless. And that's where you know something is designed well, because you don't notice it straight away.
Okay.
But what happens is that, you know, we'll be able to, you want to be able to express yourselves through your homes. It's a part of your personality, but elevating it further and making it a home that really changes your life, because ultimately that is your home. You know, you want to be able to feel, it's almost taking your personality and putting it outside and bringing that into your home in all of these different ways. And that's where, as an interior designer, you're able to do that, show and guide how that can work. Yeah. So you want to kind of imagine when you wake up and you walk around your house, that energizes you. You want to feel that. You want to feel something in your home that gives you that strength and power. That you go to work, you feel that energy continued forward, and then you can produce great work whilst you're at work, and then it benefits your career. And that comes down to all of these things, taking Vastu into account, take into account how you feel when you're in your home, you know, and then when you come home, your family are happy and smiling because you are, and you have a place where you can completely relax, completely wind down. And it's also a place, you know, where you can entertain your friends and family who are just happy and positive in that same atmosphere. And you feel proud that you feel the same way in that space. And the design is how it looks, but what we're good at doing is making it look great, but also making you feel amazing in that space too. And that's where the difference is.
Yeah, that's it's a real eye-opener. And so for those, I mean, for those of us who, you know, for those people who are lucky enough to be involved in the process of designing, you know, a house from scratch with an architect, they can incorporate an interior designer's role within that process. But for, I guess, most of us who, you know, who don't draw their house from scratch and involved at that very outset, what sort of things can you first of all just explain what Vastu is for those who aren't aware of that concept? But is it possible, say you've got a south facing door or whatever, is it possible to introduce Vastu into that space? Is it possible to change things around in the interiors of our homes when it hasn't incorporated the principles that you're talking about from the outset, from the architectural level?
Yeah, absolutely, there is. And you can incorporate the Vastu into it. You can, so Vastu Shastra is the science of architecture. So it is the way in which it's not only the way in which the planets move, but also it's connected to those elements. So for example, the kitchen should usually be in the southeast, although it's not set in stone, especially in the UK where we buy houses that are already built. It's not, Vastu isn't just directions and about this planet and that kind of direction. It's a science of architecture and design where location, climate, environment, and all of that comes into play. So you can definitely design it around what you already have through directions, but also through the colors that we use as well, through the lighting and how that kind of benefits you and your family in that space. So we also sorry, Lakshmi.
I was just going to summarize in a sense that there's always something one can do.
Yes, absolutely, definitely.
Yeah.
So also the kind of the five elements, like our Hindu culture, the rituals, culture, processes. We have such a rich and colourful heritage, and that comes out in my designs, whether it's very obvious or it's just through the philosophy we use to design it. And also a lot of people would like to bring that through their kind of their personality, through their interiors, and that heritage to a lot of people is really important. And so there are ways in which that can be done, whether it's very obvious again or subtly. So it's working together to see how that can be translated through into a space.
Wonderful. Yeah, so people can get in touch with you and have consultations, right? So are those done on Zoom? Do you come to people's homes?
Yeah, so they're both in person, and also we can travel to homes as well. So it's a mix, and we can have that conversation as to which one would be most convenient. And then yes, we do Vastu consultations, we do interior design consultations, and the whole process, works through the whole process from very early stages, if that means working with the architect or working on the whole property. When you don't have any structural changes, that's also something that we do a lot of. And we will then work together to understand what it is that you're looking for. If you have already, looked at some images on Google or Pinterest, for example, and you really like the look of that, how we can then start to work with you and understand your lifestyle, what it is you like, and also more importantly, what you don't like, what you don't want in a space. And then understanding how we can then start to create these positive energies within the space, pulling through those design elements and how that works for you and your family. And then we work through the whole process from those initial stages, consultation, understanding the design, and then we would work on the design, present it to you, and then a bit of back and forth, and then we'll start to implement it with products, wall coverings, furniture, all that sort of stuff as well.
It's very comprehensive. Yeah, and you walk the person through it, the client through it.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You're also an interior design lecturer at university.
That's right, yes.
Which university is that?
It's University of Arts London.
Right.
Yeah, so UAL. It's on the interior design degree course, an interior design degree, yeah.
Which is a whole degree, right? It's not just like a course or a diploma. It's like how many years? It's almost like an architecture degree, isn't it?
It's a 3-year degree. It's a 3-year degree, and yeah, we teach many different aspects of design, interior design. So we cover things like bars and restaurants, hotel design, residential design, yacht design. It's the wide variety, and that's really important as well, to be able to pass on this knowledge and the experience that I've got here to the next generation of interior designers, to continue that creative, innovative design going forward as well.
Fantastic. I imagine you make a very good lecturer. You have a way of expressing yourself. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you.
And you also take time to teach yoga and meditation. Oh goodness.
Yes, yeah. So yes, I'm a qualified yoga and meditation teacher. So I run weekly classes for that as well, which is why actually what a lot of Preeti ji was saying was very heartwarming, because it's definitely something that I put into practice and try to also express to a lot of my students as well, that, you know, this is really important to go forward. And the yoga that I teach also is it's authentic yoga practice. So I use all the Sanskrit terms as well, which I believe is really important. So my Indian culture and heritage is really important. Actually, it's really important to then continue that going forward as well. So I like to be able to spread that awareness of this, both through my design business, through the Vastu and the architecture and design, but also through health and well-being, through yoga and meditation. And actually, the two are very connected, because we need health and well-being personally, but we also need to then bring that into our lives, into our homes. So they do actually overlap, although it's not very obvious, it does overlap. And I think that's where I'm trying to bring that in all aspects of life, because it's done that for me. And I think that's something that going forward, and actually I am a very proud Hindu, and it's our Hindu culture and traditions that have really had a huge impact on me and have given me a lot of strength to achieve what I have so far, and also to reach my goals in the future. I think that's kind of given me the strength to just keep going, continuing to do this.
Wonderful, and very all-encompassing, the work that you do and your interests. Yeah, you're you know, another fine example of a very centered human being. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I picked up on something that you said earlier, where you mentioned that nature is a very big part of you, and it is for me as well. And I think going back to just being aware of that, and then bringing that into homes as well through well-being. So, you know, how do we do that? There's a lot of talk about indoor outdoor spaces and how we can bring that into our homes, and connecting with nature is so important within our homes as well. So how do we do that? And that's where I'll be able to help, you know, show you how that can work with your personalities, with the structure of your homes, with your family, and then encompassing that within one whole full holistic circle to bring that, all of those elements together in one space to be able to go forward in your homes.
It's wonderful, and nature is such a healing. It's so healing to be able to incorporate that into our homes is yeah, it's invaluable, I imagine. So yeah, that's
definitely
really that you work with nature also.
Yeah.
Question: Does the West do Western clients ask for Vastu compliance? That's an interesting question.
It is an interesting question. Do you know what? I think actually more recently there's been a lot of inquiries about it. And I think people are becoming a lot more aware now, especially with a lot of talk about how yoga and meditation and all of this kind of well-being is coming around. There's a lot more talk of Vastu as well now. So, you know, before there was some differences between, a lot of people had heard of Feng Shui, not necessarily Vastu. But I think that's now also becoming a talk about it, and that's actually a really good question.
And is there correlation between feng shui and Vastu? Are they yeah, do they fit well together, or are they incongruent in some way?
I think they have similar principles. The way in which Vastu works is obviously it's very old. It's written in our scriptures, in our Vedic scriptures. It's all there. It's been, and we know that it works. So it's very different for different parts of the world. So we couldn't necessarily use the same thing in every single part of the world. You would need to see where it is and how it works with the location and the climate, etc. I mentioned before. But I think there are similarities. Then it's understanding what those differences are between the two, and we could always have a consultation on what that is and how that works for the house, for the home.
Thank you, and thanks for the question. Do we have any other questions? And in fact, questions to any of our panel, any of our speakers. Now's a good time to ask as we wind down for the evening.
I'd like to share 3 top tips, actually, just to kind of let you, just help you, if you are thinking about getting your home redesigned or not quite sure know where to start. But what I would say is there are 3 things that you could possibly take away. One is simplicity. So over designing can kill a design. So understanding that concept will help. Number 2 is personal. So as I mentioned, you might see an image that you like on Instagram or Facebook or Google, for example, but it may not work with your home or your personality. So it's to understand what works best for you and what will uplift you. And then 3 is the respect for nature. So it is important to work in harmony with the environment that you live and surround yourself in, because ultimately we are made up of elements. Nature is made up of elements. And when we have that harmonious rhythm together, we're able to then create these energies that we spend the majority of our time in our homes, where the people that we love the most spending that time in those spaces as well. So having that respect for nature is important to work with harmony within the environment and how you surround yourself within it.
That's such great top tips. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's a nice, easy way of remembering some really important factors when it comes to our living environment. Yeah, thanks, Madhurika. Great.
Thank you. So we are also on Instagram and Facebook as well. So if there's anything that you would like to see from us, then we are on Instagram. Our handle. Yes, I can put them in the chat for you.
Yeah, thank you. And we have another question. Sorry, did you finish what you wanted to say just then?
Yeah, no, it was just Instagram, Facebook, and we've our website as well, which I've already mentioned.
Fantastic. Yeah, really eye-opening talking to you about homes.
Thank you.
We have one question from Antara. Do you go and visit homes in the West Midlands?
We work all over the UK, so we can go and visit. We've just completed actually a restaurant, excuse me, in Southampton. We work up in Surrey, outskirts of London and in inner London as well. So West Midlands is something that we can definitely work with. Yes, for sure.
Great. All over England then.
Yes.
Okay. There's one question. Do you see any bias in your profession?
Bias in terms of?
Who asked the question? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the person was meaning, but
Okay.
can you elaborate? Yeah, we'll see if anything comes back.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, thank you one and all. It's been such a pleasure for me to speak to each of you, to Preeti Singh, to Madhurika Trivedi, to Ankusha Sharma. Thank you so much, all three of you. Yeah, really, I'm taking away quite a lot from this evening, and I'm going to go away and reflect on everything each of you has said. So, with pleasure, and yeah, some inspiring Indian women helping us to celebrate continuation of International Women's Day. Amazing. Thanks so much to one and all. Yeah.
So let us just end the show with the song produced by Ankusha Sharma. Finally, we'll see it. Sarika is here. Sarika, can we have the song, please? And it's very impactful song, and it's a good one. That's what Ankusha has done, actually tried to break the bias in the music industry. That's the theme of this year's International Women's Day, that there's no discrimination against anybody based on gender or anything. So yeah, let's see the song. Let's hear it. The words are very good. Nari Jeevan. And do go on to the YouTube link, like it. That's what least we can do, support each other. So let's subscribe. And a woman has entered the foray of music production, and let's support her. Sarika, go for it. I think the ad will come, so it's fine. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Enlarge the screen.
समझी कभी क्या होता है नारी जीवन, ये दुनिया ना समझी कभी क्या होता है नारी जीवन। रोज सहती है दर्द कई, रोज सहती है दर्द कई, खुशहाल करके औरों का जीवन। ये दुनिया ना समझी कभी क्या होता है नारी जीवन। त्याग किया है तुमने, बलिदान दिया है तुमने, त्याग किया है तुमने, बलिदान दिया है तुमने। चंडी बन कठिन समय पर शत्रु पर वार किया तुमने। सफल है, सक्षम है नारी, तुमसे बनी है ये सृष्टि सारी। तुम्हें शत शत नमन, 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 तुम्हें शत शत नमन।
Let your hair shine.
Wow, what lyrics. I think, yeah, Varu Lakshmi has written or given the music, right, Ankusha? That was a wonderful show, yeah. Lakshmi, what do you think? We had such amazing women in the 5 days of session. Lakshmi, you're mute.
Wow, what a way to end. Yeah, this 5 days.
Shat Naman. Did you understand anything? It was Shat Naman.
No, I'd love to.
Salute to the women. Yeah. And
beautiful. I'm blown away. Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Yeah, great way to start her music production company by giving respect and pay tribute to womanhood. Celebrate our lives, you know. And the video had all very beautiful women, all the women, so many. I even saw Mahadevi Verma, Mother Teresa, Kalpana Chawla, all these names, you know. I could see everybody who's done so much from the time we got independence to present, all there. Very beautifully made video. So do go on to the channel, subscribe to the channel and like it, as we need to support each other. That's the best way to say in Happy International Women's Day. Okay, ladies, tomorrow we actually had this, demand for a few more sessions of powerful ladies. Believe in yourself. So tomorrow what we are having is, we are having very interesting panelist speakers, you know. First, we are having the lady who celebrated divorce. You know, the day she got divorced, she gave a party. So it was viral. She was, you know, all over in the paper, and her divorce party really made headlines, actually, because it's rarely people give a party for different things and not for divorce. People, it's like, you know, divorce is like a breakup and you feel sad and you're upset, but she gave a party. So we meet Sonia Gupta tomorrow, who gave this divorce party. We also meet the firebrand Ramya. Ramya has been, abused. I won't say victim, because she survived. She's a survivor. She's a crusader, fighter. She gave back. She gave back to the man. She did not just simply, you know, take in the beatings or hittings. She also gave back, which is amazing. You know, we end up being scared and go to the corner and cry when the man hits her. And incidentally, that man records her when she's hitting back. The man records her and sends the video to a bully. The bully posts the video online, which is terrifying and terrible, and a way to suppress the crusader, the survivor of this toxic relationship. So she fights back. So she will be there tomorrow, Ramya. And we also have somebody who supports such ladies, you know, who come out of such abusive relationship. She is Smita Rajesh. She also fought the council elections. And we also have one more very interesting person, Anita Ajmani. She has also survived abusive relationship. And these are ladies who show attitude now, that let's just move on. So we have this, and the host will be Jasmine Vidlani. And so not many people know that we have a very supportive sister group on WhatsApp with all very big experts and counselors and support people, people who work for the council. So they all are there from that group. So see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. UK time, not 7 p.m. because we want India also to watch. So it's 4 p.m. UK time tomorrow. Be there at the Powerful Women series, Believe Yourself. Thank you so much, Lakshmi. Thank you others also. Take care. Goodbye. Thank you, Sarika, for joining in from car without much time to log in.